Judge, I was just retained in my case. I believe Mr. Medina may have been the public defender, because I saw that he filed a motion to withdraw maybe sometime on Friday last week. Ariel Barrios.
What's the name?
Ariel Barrios, Berrios, 23 CS.
Okay. Is there a waiver of appearance on it?
There is, Your Honor, yes.
Okay.
So this is the first time up. I was just retained last week. There is a waiver on file for the record. Ms. Sharpless did provide me with the e.com link, but I haven't received full discovery, so I'm just asking for a one-cycle continuance, and I don't believe there's an objection from the
We'll
state.
continue that until next pretrial on October 9th.
Okay,
Oh,
great.
excuse me, that would be October 11th. Inmate? No.
He's out of custody with a waiver on file.
So, no.
So it is.
October 9th.
Okay.
Okay.
And then, Your Honor, I am covering Mr. Gates's case.
Okay.
And the first case I have is Joel Johnson, and that is 23 CF 1293.
Got it.
Okay, and there's a waiver on file here,
Yeah,
Judge?
too many cases.
Okay. Mr. Gates advised that depots are set September 8th, so he's asking for a one-cycle continuance, and I don't believe the state has an objection.
There's no objection.
Very good. This is a recent case. The court will continue it until 10/9, October 9th.
Thank you, Judge. And the last case that I'm appearing for Mr. Gates on is Francisco Garcia,
Correct?
and that is 23 CF 980. My understanding is that Mr. Garcia is going through the evaluation process for Veterans Court. He has been approved by the Veterans Court coordinator. However, I believe Mr. Gates is obtaining some documents that were requested for the ultimate approval by the state, is my understanding. So we're asking for a one-cycle continuance to get those documents provided to the state, and there is a waiver on file. I haven't already said that.
That's
State.
fine.
Okay. Court will continue that until 10/9.
Great. And that concludes my business before the court. May I be excused?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thanks. Y'all have a nice day.
Ron,
Good morning, Your Honor.
good morning.
Your Honor, multiple cases on your docket this morning. The first case is going to be Mario Aguirre Lopez. Your Honor, we've got deposition set next Monday. In this case, I anticipate there is one more deposition that will be set on a witness that both the state and the defense has been able to locate. I'm able to locate so far. We've both tried to and continuing to. I know this is an older case. If you need us to approach to discuss further, we're happy to. I know we've updated the court on this case before.
So what are you proposing?
Judge, a continuance on this case, I believe, would be appropriate, given this material witness that we're still trying to locate.
Judge, I think we're close here. We have a deposition on the 21st in Mississippi for the victim in this
First
case.
of this month?
Yes, sir. So approximately, a week from today?
Next Monday.
On one of the victims?
Yes, for the victim in this case. The remaining critical witness that Mr. Koch is referring to is a passenger in the victim's vehicle. I agree it's a critical witness for both of us. I anticipate that after this deposition, we'll probably be closer to locking in that deposition, and we should be pretty close to.
So we know you located that witness. You just haven't never.
Judge, based on what I've done, I think I've located the state of the witness, which is in Tennessee, but I have not physically located or made contact with the witness yet. And I think, for whatever reason in the discovery, the witness information hadn't even Crestview, which, for whatever reason, is not accurate. But that's the best information both the state and I had at the time.
I mean, at this point,
We're working on it.
you all.
I am agreeing with continuance. I believe it's appropriate.
Okay, well, I agree there's a continuance. I'm just trying to kind of trying to give some guidelines to how we have a path to resolution. So, I mean, if you come back and get the deposition, you come back 10/9, no problem. For continuance, come back, say, hey, we can't find this guy, where are we at?
Judge, I believe that the the procedure to finish this case out would be with or without that witness. Ultimately, I think the state and I both would like to speak with this witness, as that witness is material to the case. With or without him, I believe we'll have a standard ground motion that the state and I have discussed that will be filed, that the court will hear. And then after that determination, there may or may not be a trial, depending upon what the court rules, and then some other situations that the state and I have discussed.
It sounds like standard ground motion.
If you can't anticipate that, can we get that filed before the next?
I would tell you that depends upon the deposition, Judge, and whether or not.
Let's just do a continuance. I appreciate y'all working on it.
We are, Judge.
It's obviously all are working on it. I'm just trying to be as assistant, kind of low there. Okay.
And I appreciate that, Your Honor. So that's with Mr. Gary Lopez, October 9. Is that
October
fine?
9.
Okay. Your Honor, the next case is Travis Adity. That's case number 22CF2459. Your Honor, we conducted depositions on this case. After conducting depositions, additional discovery was brought up that the state is attempting to locate. Ms. Sharpless and I have been in contact on that by email, and she has already determined that one of them is not, I guess, in existence, and the other one she is attempting to locate. So we need a continuance, and that's specifically EMS cabinet report and records related to that.
Okay. So,
Request to
the
continue.
state's okay with that?
Yes, Your Honor, the state's okay with that, and I was unaware that EMS has a separate CAD system. I found out who to email. We have not gotten a response from that person yet, but as soon as we do, I will let Mr. Compton know.
And Judge, that came up in deposition. I didn't, neither one of us was aware that.
We come back in October, it'll be basically a year out.
I expect that to be a motion to dismiss, and whether or not the court, depending upon, in that factual situation, then the court, can, if it, depending upon the outcome of that, will depend upon resolution.
Okay, very good. Just wanted to
Yes,
kind of see where we're going. Very good. Then, David Bratton?
Mr. Bratton, Your Honor, that's case number 23CF631. Your Honor, I have an appointment set with the evidence custodian in that case because of the sensitive material that's located in that discovery. That is not something that was provided to defense counsel. That's been coordinated with the sheriff's office and the state. After that, we already have a
Have you coordinated that? I mean, you're getting cooperated?
It's already set up, Your Honor.
Okay, good.
That is set up, as well as our next deposition, which is following that. However, Judge, I do believe that's past our next. Do you know what date that is? I believe it continues to be appropriate. But
Yes, because your evidence reviews until the 6th of November.
Okay.
Okay.
We've got
We'll
both
continue
divisions
this
on.
to 10-9, and you can give me an update at that point.
That's
I know
correct, Your
it's
Honor. We should have
complex
all
and
done.
it's relatively recent case.
Yes, sir. Your Honor, the next case is Chad Cusimano, 23CF504.
And all of these have waivers, I assume.
Everybody has a waiver. Yes, sir. Your Honor, I have, that is a request for continuance. The state is providing more discovery in that case. We've reviewed I'm sorry, Judge, I misspoke. That case is, I've reviewed all the discovery. I've got to meet with my client. The depositions were just set,
In September.
okay, in September, so a continuation.
We're making progress. We'll come back on 10-9, and hopefully have a better feel for where we think.
Yes, sir. All of these cases have depositions set or have been done, and we're working toward the end of these cases.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Your Honor, the next case is Wendell Glover, 23CF1021. Your Honor, we just had depositions on that case last week. I need time to meet with my client, review that case, see how he would like to proceed. I don't believe there are any other witnesses to depose. Did we get through all of them?
I think we got through one.
Yeah. Your Honor, I don't believe the state would have a continuance in its fairly objection. That's a fairly good case.
Okay.
That's correct.
Do we anticipate this being either a resolution or kind of next
I
time,
do.
kind of ramping it up for?
I anticipate a resolution in this case, Judge, on the next
Can we
time.
make it a last call?
That's fine, Your Honor.
Next, not this one.
That's
Well,
fine.
this continues to be the last.
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good.
Your Honor, the last case I have is Anthony Dean Knutson, 23CF827. Your Honor, in that case, We've conducted a plethora of depositions on a day in that case. There was a law enforcement officer that I believe was injured and was unable to attend the deposition, if I remember correctly on that.
That's correct.
And there were, maybe I'll approach on this one. May we approach?
From the UPS store once again, and I wanted to let you know about our Sunday hours. We're open now 7 days a week. Normal hours that you've been expecting, but now we're open Saturday 10 to 4, Sunday 10 to 3, and it's both our Crestview, Fort Walton Beach, and Eglin Air Force Base locations. So you have things to do, go and do it. Just know the UPS store is going to be here. Again, Sundays 10 until 3 p.m.
Is that all? That's all I have on that.
That's all I've got.
Good to see you, Judge. Thank you.
Have a good day.
Hello, I am Bonnie from Body Be Healthy here in Crestview. We have been serving the area since
Ms. Merrifield here?
Your Honor, Mr. Skibasky did speak out for
I know, we'll come back. I'm just checking to kind of see where everyone's at. Del Bosa? Mr. Bosa?
Good morning, Your Honor. Susan
Good morning.
Blask on behalf of Adrian Disnew. He has two cases, the 23 CF
Speaking to that
0382.
microphone.
Sorry. Two cases, 23 CF 0382 and 19 CF 1387 is a violation of probation. The state and I have
Is that based on the new law charge?
Yes, Your Honor. I would just like to set this for a plea or continue on the next hearing. The state has offered us a good offer, and I need to talk to my client about that.
I don't have a problem with continuing it, but what I would suggest is that it would be, sounds like you guys are ready to go, fairly straightforward case. I mean,
Yes, Your Honor.
I haven't looked at it in detail. So this will be the last one, you know.
Okay.
So either you
What's
guys
the
can
plea
settle it
date?
or we'll.
We've already got an offer, Your Honor, so what's the, we want to come back and go to the plea date. I think it's next week.
Oh, you want to come back for docket day?
Adopt it, yes, Your Honor.
Very good. So docket day is, when's our document next week? August 21st.
Thank you, Your Honor. That's all I have. May I be excused?
You may.
Thank you.
Mr. Arrow. Oh, you come forward. Didn't know if you were finished with Judge Brown.
Oh, yes, sir, thank you. Jeff Arrow, Judge, my clients have waivers on file. I've been in contact with them as well as the state.
Very good.
The first client is a Anthony Azelda, 2022 CF 1907.
Okay.
Judge, the state and I have depositions set on September 22nd. So we would request a date after that.
I'm hesitating because you all announced last time. I'm letting you know. I want you to know I'm trying to keep track of these things.
Well, just-
Why do we have additional issues that came up?
Well, yes, if you recall, Judge, we had those depositions set, but then I had to have my emergency surgery that took me out for 3 weeks, so that's why.
Okay.
That's why.
Stay okay?
Yes, Your Honor,
Would
absolutely.
we, with these with these depositions of this discovery, would this be the last one?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Very good.
Judge, the state, I can approach real quick on that.
Sure.
followed by 14 months of probation. He would maintain the withhold, he would add 24 hours of community service work and complete the original requirements. I've reviewed the score sheet, may I approach?
You may. State in agreement.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Thank you. And Mr. Wood, would you please raise your right hand, sir? Do you swear or affirm the information you're about to provide this court is the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Speak from that mouthful.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you heard your attorney state the terms of your plea agreement. Is that your understanding? I see that it's the written plea agreement states the same thing, and you've signed it. So, question, have you read this plea agreement closely?
Yes, sir.
And you've gone over it with your attorney, make sure you understand all the agreements and the legal ramifications of this plea?
Yes, sir.
Okay. There's going to be community control followed by probation, so you're up making it a little more difficult, right? More contact. Are you gone over it? Make sure you can handle this type of supervision. I want you to be successful, but if you got community control, I'm going to tell you, the next you violate this time, they're going to be trying to ask for jail time.
I understand.
So I want to make sure you're comfortable that you can handle this.
Yes, sir.
Okay? Very good. You understand this will be a final resolution of both these violations of probation. This will be a final resolution here too. Okay, very good. The court will accept your plea agreement. And there'll be, as stated, 6 months of community control, modifying extent to the 6 months of community control followed by 14 months probation and the other complete original requirements and community service hours as stated. Any questions?
Yes, sir.
Maintain the withhold.
Maintain the withhold. That's correct. Is that correct, Steve?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay. Very good. And you do have a right to appeal this, even though you just entered into it.
I didn't see that $100 deal. Is it on here?
It's in there, at the very last page, sorry about
Oh,
that.
the last page.
Okay, thank you.
Next, Judge Jay Patel on behalf of Coy Browning for Nancy Holland.
Very good.
This is the first time up. Mr. Browning is waiting on videos. He asked the case be continued one cycle.
Steve?
Judge, I sent those videos to him. I believe he should have them as of Friday, but I have no objection to the continuance.
Very good. The court will continue this till 10/9.
I've got several cases on the docket. The first one, Jay Patel on behalf of Courtney Baggett, 22 CF 2940. Judge, the
Hold on, I'm sorry. These are Patel. Baggett, Courtney Baggett.
Judge, just after the last pre-trial, we scheduled depositions, and the soonest deposition date I could get was November the 6th, so that's when it's set. Understanding that this is very old, but those dates were out of my control.
Okay. So you're asking for a continuance, assuming the state's not objecting.
We don't need
Without objection, the court will continue this till 10/9. Are these kind of the last of the depositions?
It's the only.
Yes, okay.
If we can continue it to the date after November the 6th, I anticipate filing a motion to suppress.
I'm just trying to figure out.
Unless the calendar's not out.
No, the calendar's not. So, seems that you've got them scheduled. Normally we don't do that, but we'll come back to that's the last thing really, the last item. So we'll come back in December 11th. But the only thing I would ask is if you're filing any motions, try and get them filed before that day.
Oh, absolutely.
We'll kind of just keep you from having to come back, file them before then, even if we can't get them on the docket by then, we'll know exactly where we're going on.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Next, Judge Jay Patel on behalf of Ralph Bullard Campbell, 22 CF 2306. Judge, I'm asking for a final continuance. We just wrapped up the final deposition. However, there were no court reporters available, so I had to record it, so I need to get that transcribed. And then I understand that the state is meeting with the alleged victim and his mother within the next week or so, and that will
state?
That's correct, Your Honor, and the victim has an attorney, so that's the need for us to set up an in-person meeting with them and their attorney, Your Honor.
Very good, and if the clerk's minutes would indicate that they will ask him.
Next, Judge Jay Patel on behalf of Lawrence Raymond Cinco, 22 CF 1299. As I indicated to the court on Mr. Baggett's case, the same is true for Mr. Cinco's case regarding depositions. The depositions are set for November the 6th. Although I believe that we may be able to get it resolved by then. If I can, I'll set it for early week. And Judge, just so you're aware of, there's also another outstanding issue that probably need your help with. Back in February, this court issued an order for DCF to give me the reports relating to that collateral investigation. And as we sit here today, I've yet to receive them.
Judge, can we approach on that issue?
Sure.
Till 3 p.m., Friday from 10 a.m. till 4 p.m., and Saturday from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. We're located in historic downtown Crestview at 107 North Main Street. Call 850-683-1045. Dave's Tire Pros makes buying tires simpler. They offer a straightforward approach to tire and auto service that includes nationwide warranties, a hassle-free experience, and a great selection of Michelin tires. No matter what you drive or where you have driven, Michelin has a tire to fit any need. Visit our store in Crestview or online at Dave'sTirePros.com. Tire Pros love the drive.
Hey, I'm David at Family Vision of Crestview. We've been providing excellent optical service for Northwest Florida for over 34 years. Come in and let us take care of you.
This is Tiffany Woodham, State Farm's newest agent in Crestview. I'd like to personally invite you to stop by my office for a no-cost policy review. Let me help you start saving today. Call in, walk in, or click in at yourcrestview.agent.com.
Check out the soaps, bath bombs, and other bath and body products, all made by hand with natural ingredients at Hub City Soapery. Visit us at 1092 North Verdon Boulevard in Crestview or shop online at hubcitysoapery.com. Hub City Soapery.
CQ Roofing, your hometown roofer since 1999. We're state licensed and insured, family owned and operated with 24 years of local service. We specialize in shingles and metal, re-roofs, repairs, and leak specialists. For all of your roofing needs, call us today or visit our website at cqroofing.com.
Next, Judge Jay Patel on behalf of, last name is Friedsberg, first name is William Robert, 23 CF 523. Judge, if we can continue this case so I can set depositions.
No objection.
It's a recent case, continue to 10-9.
Next, Judge Jay Patel on behalf of, last name is Garcia Crispin, first name is Jose Alejandro, 23 CF 273. I have filed a C4 motion to dismiss, and I believe Ms. Basso intends to address the court.
Your Honor, we can set that for a hearing, but I would go ahead and advise the court that I have reviewed Mr. Patel's motion, Mr. Garcia Crispin's case. It's a C4 motion. The state cannot in good faith traverse or demur that motion. So if the court wishes to address that this time, they can.
they're not gonna traverse it. Do we need to set it here? What do we need to do?
It would be my understanding that based upon the state's response, the court's in the position to dismiss the case.
The state would agree, Your Honor. We can't traverse it if you're in good faith.
Very good. Court will dismiss the case based on the state's position that they're not going to traverse the C4 motion.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay.
Next, Judge Jay Patel on behalf of, last name is Gerard, first name is Kenneth, 22 CF 3013. I had deposition set, however, the law enforcement officer called me and indicated that he was on training and asked that we reschedule. Obviously, I felt in a place where I had to accommodate him as a matter of professional courtesy, and so I asked to continue the case so I could reset the depositions.
State? Have they been reset?
Not yet.
State?
I'm sorry, Your Honor, I don't think we heard that.
Gerard.
Judge, I do apologize. I
Recently inherited that case.
So he couldn't get a deposition from one of the police officers because he was in training. I'm just asking whether you object to
No objection.
continuance. The court will continue this till 10 now.
Next, Judge Jay Patel on behalf of Hibbs, first name is Lawrence, 23 CF 890. Judge, if we can continue this case, I believe we are in a position to resolve the case probably before the next pretrial.
Very good. So we'll continue to 10-9. If you have a resolution, you can call and get it put on the morning of a miscellaneous docket.
Yes, sir.
Or, if you think it might be resolved before next week, you can put it on the docket.
I'm not sure about next week, but
But if it is, you can stick it on next week.
yes, sir.
We'll accommodate resolutions, obviously.
Next, Judge Jay Patel on behalf of, last name is Johns, first name is Devin, 23 CF 147, 23 CF 149. Judge, if I can continue this case, my client he just got me the funds to retain an expert, which I need to get the discovery over to him for this review.
It's a relatively recent case. Fairly complex. Court will continue this till 10-9 on both cases.
Next, Judge Jay Patel on behalf of, last name is Kraft, first name is Eric, 23 CF 1011. We can continue this case to, if we can continue this case to November, I've spoken to the state, and I think that I need to, I think we're talking about scheduling me to go up to Kentucky to depose the alleged victim on the 10th.
I know there won't be a resolution on 10-9, but let's just keep it on there so we can kind of get an update in case you need any assistance from the court. We'll continue until 10-9.
And then finally, Judge Jay Patel on behalf of, last name is Kremkes, Krempges, first name Jason, 23 CF 1274. Believe that this is the first time up if we can continue the case.
State?
I would agree.
Court agrees. Continue until 10-9.
I have nothing further, maybe excuse.
Thank you, Mr. Patel.
Thank you, Judge.
Mr. Madden, I'm sorry. Ms. Merrifield, we'll get yours next. I didn't see you slip in. Hold on just a second, Mr. Madden. Mr. Madden.
Good morning, Your Honor. John Madden here on behalf of Robert Daniels. He's got two cases on the docket, 21 CF 2593 and 23 CF 565. Your Honor, I've had conversations with the state. We were in negotiations that was kind of broke down. We received a new offer just this morning. I have not had a chance to talk to my client about it yet.
Why don't we do this? Why don't we, because there was an announcement that last was going to be the last continuance. Why don't we come back on docket date, see if you guys can have some further discussion?
I'm going out of town next week.
All
Thursday and next week. Yes,
all
sir.
next week?
Not all next week. Is there a court date after? I thought Monday was the only court date.
Well, there's a miscellaneous day.
We can set it for that, Your Honor, and see if we have something.
What do we have in the morning? Yeah.
But we'll let Your Honor know. We've Since the last court date, we did have some depositions. I've been trying to schedule others for quite a number of weeks now. We just got a date from the state on Friday to set those depositions, so those are set. I'm hoping we have it resolved without needing those, but I do want Your Honor to know if something were to happen to this offer from the state or my client or anything, we would need to go forward on those depositions before we get ready for trial.
Let's come back on the 22nd. 22nd, miscellaneous in the morning. We'll also, just in case, we'll set it for October 9th, the next pretrial as well. We'll come back on 8/22 in the morning, 9 a.m. for a possible resolution.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
That's all I have. I'll make the excuse.
Yes, sir. Ms. Merrifield?
Morning, Judge.
Good morning.
My apologies, I was also with Judge Brown.
That's all right. No apologies necessary.
The bulk of my cases are going to be found under my partner, Mr. Flaherty.
Okay, let me pull that. Thank you for, I was going to ask you that. Okay, you may begin.
The first case is Randall Booker, 23 CF 1346. There is a waiver on file. It's the first time up. We are still reviewing discovery. Request continuing to the October pretrial. No objection, Your Honor.
Without objection, the court will continue to 10-9.
The next case, Judge, is Nicholas Carrasso, 22 CF 360. There's also a waiver on file. Judge, if we may approach.
You may.
Roofing, your hometown roofer.
Hi, I'm Amanda Gaskin with Briarpatch Realty. Helping qualified heroes save money is my passion. When I help a hero buy or sell a home, they receive a check from Homes for Heroes. Check out amandasheroes.com for more information.
Hi, I'm Michael Gilbert, defense attorney with Warrior Law. I represent those accused in Santa Rosa, Okaloosa, and Walton County. If you or anyone you know has been accused of a crime, give us a call. We can help.
Backroom Bakery Cafe is 2 blocks from the courthouse on Crestview historic Main Street. We serve handmade pastries, espresso, and lunch items, and we're open Tuesday to Saturday from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m., serving lunch from 11 to 2. We hope to see you soon.
Bad Boys Juicy Beef and Tasty Bird is located at 482 North Wilston Street in historic downtown Crestview, just 1 block from the courthouse. We open at 10 a.m. with amazing lunch specials until 2 p.m., serving incredible burgers, wings, sandwiches, and appetizers. Join us for happy hour Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Hope to see you soon.
The next case I have is Kyle Chapman in 23 CF 1015. There's a waiver on file. This is the first time up. We're still reviewing discovery. Request the 10-9 free trial for Mr. Chapman.
Very good. First time up, continue to 10-9.
The next case is Jennifer Higginbotham, 23 CF 1235. There's a waiver on file. It's the first time up. I'd like to leave this one set for docket day for plea or continue.
Very good. The docket day is 8/21.
21, Judge.
8/21 and 9 a.m.
The next case is Daniel Jamison and 23 CF 845. There is a waiver on file. Judge, this is the second time up. We have had depositions in this case. However, Mr. Losco and I are continuing to negotiate. I believe that the next docket day would be a bit premature, so I'd ask to move it to the 10-9 pretrial, and if we're able to come to an agreement, we'll certainly advance it on the docket at that time.
No objection.
We'll continue still 10-9.
The next case is Anissa Gines and 23 CF 423. There's a waiver on file. This is the second time up. Judge, we have
This was already continued.
Oh, thank you, Judge. We had sent a
I
motion.
got a note on my thing that it was signed. It was signed late.
Okay, I don't have it yet. Can I learn?
Yeah, I think it was 10.
Thank you, Judge. And the last case I have under my partner is Benjamin Roerig, and that's 23 CF 1166.
What about King?
Mr. King was no crossed. It did not show on my docket when I checked this morning. The state filed a no cross on August the 11th.
That's correct, Judge. I'll be filing an amended no cross. I did notate something incorrectly on the original, but it should be no
That's
cross.
fine. As long as you just want to make a note that it's null cross for the minutes for the clerk.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay. What was the last one?
The last one was Benjamin Roerig and 23 CF
I've got
11.
this one as having continuance was signed to.
Thank you, Judge. I did submit one.
So I already looked at it, so.
I appreciate that,
So
Judge.
continue to 10-9 state. And where is that?
Should be Ms. Douglas. It was just transferred to your division, Mr. Roerig.
Yes. 10-9 is fine, Your Honor. I'm sorry, that did just get transferred.
And Judge, the last case I have was filed under my name.
Okay, hold on.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, go ahead.
And it's to Kendrick Grimes and 22 CF 2812. There is a waiver on file. We have completed depositions, Judge. However, the state and I continue to negotiate. We would request a continuance to 10-9 so that we can continue those negotiations.
That's without objection, Your Honor. As she said, it is moving forward.
Has all the discovery been completed?
I believe so. We believe so, Judge.
Okay, so are you announcing it's the last? We'll continue it a full 2 months. That'll give you plenty of time to negotiate.
I would
If
certainly.
not, we're ready to go.
I would like to leave the option open, Judge, as we just completed depositions and started negotiating. So I would request to 10-9, and certainly if the case is ripe at that time, I will set it.
Okay. We'll be looking, if the discovery's ended, we need to either resolve it. They're not, the state's can either make their offer or not. And same with you, you have a right to either accept or not, so.
Absolutely, Judge.
So we'll be looking at, trying to bring it in for landing. One way or another, it's all right.
Yes, sir. I believe that's all I have.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Garrett.
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Your Honor, there are waivers on file for my clients today. First, Chris Garrett on behalf of Brian Buchanan, 23 CF 1078. Your Honor, this is the first time up for this client. We're in the process of getting a deposition with the AV schedule. We request a continuance to October 9th.
First time up, state okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
State court will continue to 10-9.
Thank you, Your Honor. Then Chris Garrett on behalf of Victor Cardona, 22 CF 2934. Your Honor, we are late in the stage of negotiations in this case. I would set this case for docket day for potential resolution. I'm going to be out of the state until August 22nd. And I know that there is a miscellaneous date on, I think, the Thursday, but I also have court in Milton and in Defuniak that morning. We would request a continuance to the next pretrial. The idea that if we work something out, we would move it up on the docket.
So is that the last continuance?
Yes, Your Honor.
State?
Your Honor, that's what Mr. Garrett and I spoke about, the state doesn't.
We'll come back 10-9, like I say, if you get it resolved, you can get it out in the morning of any of our miscellaneous. We'll accommodate for you, obviously.
Thank you, Your Honor. And then finally, I have Chris Garrett on behalf of Peter Feckley, 22 CF 2747. Your Honor, I received an email from the state a couple of days ago that the AV in this case has been located, and we're going to be getting a deposition of the AV schedule very shortly.
Okay.
We'd ask for a continuance to October.
For state, approaching a year, so.
Yes, Your Honor. There's been an issue.
Come back, we'll be asking more in depth where we're at.
Yes, sir.
I mean, that's right. You can get your deposition, I don't have any question about that. Just want to note that we're approaching that critical year mark.
Yes, Your Honor. And Your Honor, may see my approach about a different case, Devin Austin?
Sure.
Hi, I'm Wanda Roberts. For the last 20 years, I've been helping the residents of Northwest Florida buy and sell their properties. My office is just 1 block south of the courthouse in historic downtown Crestview. Give us a call at 850-398-5389.
Alex Barthay from the UPS store once again, and I wanted to let you know about our Sunday hours. We're open now 7 days a week. Normal hours that you've been expecting, but now we're open Saturday 10 to 4, Sunday 10 to 3, and it's...
I know. Before it's accepting the misdemeanor plea on the record, let's go ahead and announce it. What's the case number?
It is 22 CF 1598.
Kevin Austin, misdemeanors with courts accepting it, the written plea agreement that's been offered by the defense in the state.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And does it have a recall?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, no, I can.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day.
Thank you. Is Mr. Skowatski back? You had slipped out before you got your name on there. I skipped over you. Go ahead.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Mr. Patterson on behalf of Elizabeth Danwell. She's present. The court will have to approach the podium. And Your Honor, Ms. Bosa.
Let me get
Oops.
Okay.
I've spoken with Ms. Boson this morning, and Mr. Barnes is present as well, John Barnes. And the appropriate to approach the bench for the attention.
Our Crestview, Fort Walton Beach, and Eglin Air Force Base locations. So you have things to do, go and do it. Just know the UPS store is going to be here. Again, Sundays, 10 until 3 p.m.
Hello, I am Bonnie from Body Be Healthy here in Crestview. We have been serving the area since 1999. We're an alternative health food store. If you're interested in bettering your health, we'd like to invite you to stop by. We're located in Court Plaza. Stop by and let us help you be healthy.
Congratulations, Crestview's very own Dixie Dan Powell of Powell Injury Law, for your recent jury verdict of $11.5 million for your client from a death and injury against an inflatable amusement company. Recognized in 2017 as one of the top 100 civil trial lawyers in the state of Florida, and Dixie is AV preeminent rated. Dixie Dan Powell works tirelessly for his clients, as is evident by this extraordinary verdict. If you're taking your case to trial, be prepared. Contact Dixie Dan Powell and Powell Injury Law. 850-306-2667.
Hello, this is Chris Norman at Bulldog Bail Bonds. Our office is in Crestview, Florida, but we service 7 Northwest Florida counties. If you ever find yourself in a jam, please give us a call. We're here to help you out.
For more than 70 years, the sweet aroma of the Crestview's Coney Islands burgers and hot dogs has permeated the downtown area. If you have not experienced the unique flavor of Crestview's Coney Islands burgers and hot dogs, then I encourage you to join us for lunch. Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. till 3 p.m., Friday from 10 a.m. till 4 p.m., and Saturday from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. We're located in historic downtown Crestview at 107 North Main Street. Call 850-683-1045.
So, Your Honor, consultation with the state with reference to the court, we seek a continuance of some matters that still need to be completed as it relates to certain treatment issues, and we've asked you to do this to the next term of the court.
Very good. The court will grant the continuance, but Ms. Dameron, this is something that needs to be resolved, and this needs to be your highest priority. And so I'm going to ask,
It is, Your Honor.
in a nice way, probably the last time I'll ask in a nice way. You need to figure out a way to get the schedule for Mr. Barnes and get his schedule. It's his schedule, ma'am. It needs to get done. It's not getting done. We wouldn't be here if it was getting done. This is a simple thing. We need you to get it. We're letting this pass. We're getting a continuance. Your attorney argued strongly for it, but it's not. The next time there's going to be issues. So please, I'm asking you, saying it, Mike, get it done. We want to get this. We want to get a fair resolution. You have to have the appointment in order to do that. Can you get that done before we come back in October?
I was there, Your Honor, yes, sir.
Okay. So I'm going to count on you to make sure that happens. If not, we'll have to address it the next time.
I will continue to jump through hoops for you, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Cardozo. Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor. Ryan Cardozo appearing on behalf of Christopher Manuel Davis. It's case 22 CF 2402. I don't always sound like this, Your Honor. I've got a little bit of a chest cold. There's a waiver in the court file, sir. We have a motion to suppress that we filed. It's set for hearing on October 12th at 2:30 p.m. We also have depositions. The last of the depositions in this case, they're set for November 16th of 2023. In this case, we've taken a dozen or more depositions at this point, including expert witnesses. We've also been to the Fort Walton Beach Police Department, looked at all the evidence in the case. This last round of depositions is out a little bit further than I wanted, but it's the best that we could do. So for now, the next thing we have coming up is the motion to suppress, which is dispositive, and that's October 12th, Your Honor. So we'd ask that this case be set for that day.
I think the state would probably disagree with you that it's dispositive. It could be dispositive.
It could be, Judge. It could be.
I understand. Okay.
But yes, Your Honor, we are working. This is a large trafficking case, so Mr. Cardozo is absolutely doing his due diligence and has been working. It's not for lack of trying to get depositions so this went to November. It's just what we could get worked out. So.
Very good. Well, I appreciate you laying out kind of what's transpiring so that we are working the case. We know some cases are more complex than others. It does seem to me, if you've got the motion already scheduled for October 22nd for us to come back, I don't like to have a two-cycle continuance.
October 12th, Judge.
I know October 12th, but the normal pre-trial would be October 9th. Doesn't make much sense to do it 3 days before you're already scheduled and you come back up and repeat everything you're just saying.
Okay.
So why don't we continue this until, I don't normally do this, but we'll continue it until the December 11th, which is the following pre-trial after that. Hopefully, by that time, I would think that your depositions will be completed, the suppression hearing will have been held, and we'll know exactly where we're going. Hopefully, either ready for trial or maybe a resolution.
I would think so, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you.
May I be excused?
No, thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
Ms. Dudley here? No, she was with Judge Brown.
She's the person here.
Oh, she's coming.
I do have labels on file for all my clients.
Okay.
And the first case I have is Todd Adams, in 22 CF 1584. We have deposition set on September 21st, last 15 minutes.
Are those all the depositions that you anticipate having to?
I guess we'll see who shows up, Your Honor.
Depends on what they say, right? That's
Yes.
always the answer. Depends on what they say. Okay. So we're asking to continue until 10/9?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and I appreciate you letting me know what the status of the discovery. State's okay with that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Continue until 10/9.
The next case I have is Crystal Andis Kennedy in 22 CF 2528. We have depo set on September 21st, and we're still waiting on the urine lab report. So we're asking for continuance to 10/9.
State.
Yes, Your Honor, and I did check on that, the status of that FDLE report. It is at the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, and it is still pending being tested. I have asked them to rush it there.
When was it sent?
Honestly, Judge, it was sent recently, like I think right before the last pretrial, to be honest with the court. So
Appreciate you
that's,
being honest with the court.
that's why it's being rushed.
Okay. Very good. We'll continue until 10/9.
The next case is Marcus Brantley in 21 CF 2641. We have a deposition set on September 27th. I'll ask for continuance to the October pretrial.
State.
Yes, Your Honor, and just so the court's aware, I know this case is older, but Ms. Dudley is new to this case, and that's why it's a 2021 case still pending.
We know Ms. Dudley was on this case and the meeting would be further advanced.
There were depots that were done, but the officer was not taken, so I need to do
That's
that.
correct, Judge.
Very good. Floyd.
Kerry Floyd in 23 CF 378 and 23 CF 380. We have a deposition set on that one on September 27th. And we're asking for continuance to the next pretrial.
Continue to 10/9.
Siobhan Coward, 22 CF 2730. We have a deposition set on September 28th. We're asking for continuance on that one. This has been open because we were first waiting for some discovery. Finally got that, so we got depositions set.
Okay, State.
Your Honor, that's correct.
Okay, we'll come back on October 9th.
The next case is Trayvon Harris in 23 CF 1366. I recently filed on this case, Your Honor. I think it's the first time up.
Who had it before you?
I believe it was public defender. I believe it was public defender.
I don't have this on your list. Was it Mr. Medina? What's the inmate's name? I'm not being
Harris.
Harris. Christopher J. Harris?
Trayvon.
Trayvon Harris, got it. This is Mr. Gates' case originally, and now it's Ms. Dudley. So you just got it and you want to continue until 10/9?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Court will continue until 10/9.
Your Honor, next case I have is Cornelius Lee, 21 CF 1406. This is a cold case that we have. I think we've done all the depots, I believe. I was attempting to locate a witness, but I believe I have located him, but I have not had a chance to speak with him. I'm still working on getting some transcripts from all the depositions that we've taken. So I asked for 15 minutes.
State has no objection, Judge. I'm waiting on that endorsement for this witness, so of course I can proceed with the deposition if that endorsement is coming, so I believe the continuance is appropriate.
So how are we doing as far as this, with this deposition? Are we seeing the
I think we're seeing a light at the end of the tunnel, Your Honor.
I
Just
know it's
working on
not a
getting
Blake's
there.
case,
We have witnesses spread out throughout different states, and we've been trying to work to get everything taken care of.
I agree, Judge. After this depot, assuming there's no more investigation, that's revealed that the state needs to do, I think we're probably ready to go. I stated it at the last pretrial conference. The state will just need a little bit of advance notice, perhaps more than 2 weeks, because I will have to get out-of-state subpoenas done.
You mean as far as what? the trial?
So, yes, Judge.
Sure.
So typical procedure, would be we're ready to go at a pretrial conference, and then subs go out. On a case like this, I'm going to need to send out-of-state subs, so I'm just putting the court on notice. And defense, I'll need more than that sort of 2-week period. So.
That's fine. I mean, when we come back on 10/9, how long of a trial would you anticipate? I mean, I'm not holding you to it. I'm just kind of.
I see this as a
3-day or
I'd
2
say
weeks.
3 or 4 days.
Okay, so it's probably a better part of a week.
Yeah.
So, okay. I mean, as long as, we can take whatever steps we need on 10. If you're ready to go on 10/9, docket day and jury review are to assist to go to trial. If we're ready to go on 10/9, we'll go and then we'll schedule a specially scheduled jury review. Unless you're saying that we wouldn't be ready on 10/9.
I would anticipate if we're ready on 10/9, the state would request a specific set of dates for your next trial cycle such that I can get out my out-of-state subs,
Okay.
have everything ready to go.
Okay. I didn't quite understand it, but I got it. You'll have sufficient time to get your subpoenas out.
I appreciate it, Judge.
As long as we're, got it in sights and we're getting the trial scheduled and resolution scheduled. Okay.
The next case I have is Jerry Reed from 22 CF 96 and 22 CF 654. And these cases just transferred to this division, Your Honor. I'm still waiting on some transcripts to work on what's the press in one of the cases. And then in the other case, I do have depots set on August 29th. However, I did inform Ms. Sharpless that we need a new address or contact information for that witness. We'll just continue to the next pre-trial.
State,
That's correct, Your Honor.
continue until 10/9.
I believe the last case I had, Your Honor, is Mr. Wright in 23 CF 321. I believe we have depot set September 18th. We'll ask for continuance to the next trial.
State,
That's correct, Your Honor.
the court will continue until 10/9.
I believe it's all I have, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Dudley. Have a nice day. Mr. Keith.
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
The first case on your docket under my name in the state of Florida versus Christopher Berry. However, a stipulation for substitution of counsel was signed, and Mr. Flowers and Mr. Shaw are stepping into those cases. And I don't know if they're here, but the stipulation has been filed with the court. So while I'm on the docket,
Were they prepared to just do the pretrial today? I'm probably going to continue.
I can continue. Christopher's here. Christopher, you want to come up? They have not received the discovery. They are mailing me a hard drive. So we
I don't have a I do not have a problem with continuing until 10/9, just so we can get it resolved. You can let them know what's going on with the new council.
We'll let you.
The 10/9 at 9 a.m.
All right, so just share that with Tim. All right, so you got next case will be State of Florida versus Brittany Bonney, Boney, 23 CF 1217. I actually was recently appointed to her case. I have an offer plea that I want to discuss with her. If I can pass her for a minute.
Okay.
Then just be outside. Next, we State of Florida versus Jennifer Diaz, 23 CF 660. She has a second case that hopefully we'll be tracking on the same docket, which would be 23 CF 516. I'm not sure why it's not on here.
What's the other case?
23 CF 516.
13th. But I'm willing to do it.
Okay.
You ready?
Yes.
Judge, I anticipate completing this after speaking with Ms. Diaz a couple of weeks ago. However, it appears after conversations today that's not going to happen. So I apologize. I did not schedule the depositions or what we needed to based on previous conversations. So I'm going to ask for continuance to the 10-9 date, and we will go from there.
So do you anticipate being able to get some depositions before then so we can be last continuance?
I doubt it. I scheduled depositions with Ms. Sharpless a couple of weeks ago, and we were backed out to late September and early October as is. So I doubt we will get it done by 10-9.
Okay. Well, it seems that
But if I
we'll
can
certainly continue until 10-9.
that would be helpful, just to keep it
Yeah,
on track.
that's fine. We'll continue until 10-9, but
Then we can report to the court whether they got set and what date. And
we'll be looking at whatever reason, there's either a resolution or we get ready for trial. So we just want to make sure we're moving in that direction promptly. Okay, thank you.
All right, that's your name, okay. Judge, I also have on your docket Dexia Lane, Lane, 22 CF 110. And he is actually a co-defendant of Ms. Dudley's client, Mr. Reed. I believe the court parked that case on the October 9th docket. I would ask you to do the same. These cases were just recently transferred to your division due to recusal.
The court will continue this until 10-9 without objection from the state.
You mentioned that there were cases represented by other attorneys.
There was a co-defendant that was earlier done.
Eric Reed.
Eric Reed.
That was mistake. And Judge, I believe that's all I have on your docket. According to
That's all I've got too.
Okay. Thank you.
Do you have anybody else you're coming for? No, sir. Okay, I just didn't know you hesitated. Mr. Horsey, if I pronounced that correctly. Did I pronounce that right?
Close, Judge.
Sorry. You can tell me I do it right.
Yes, Judge, good morning. And it's Dustin Harsher for the records.
Harsher?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Are these under your name?
These are under Tony Henderson's name. I'm filling in for him this morning. The first one I
They're
have.
under the attorney's name right there.
I apologize.
That's all right. I didn't remember seeing your name, that's why I was asking.
In the first case, Your Honor, I believe is DeMarcus Smith. I believe he's incarcerated, so I don't know if we need to get him.
He's not incarcerated. So I've got him on my docket for today. DeMarcus Smith.
Yes, Your Honor.
3 CF 1162.
Yes, Your Honor, that's the case. I have on here that he's incarcerated. If not, I just ask that the court waive his presence. I do believe this is the first time up, and we're just asking for a continuance to schedule depositions with the state.
State in agreement.
No objection.
That objection, the court will continue until 10-9.
Thank you, Judge. Next case I have is Christopher Gardner. There is a written waiver on file from Mr. Gardner. There are depositions already scheduled in this case for September 13th. So I'd ask that we continue to that October 9th pretrial date as well, Your Honor. There's no objection.
No objection.
Without objection, the court will continue until 10-9.
Thank you, Judge. That's all I have.
Thank you, appreciate it. Mr. Cromie.
Morning, Judge. Jason Cromie on behalf of Kelly Jones. There's a waiver on file. That's 23 CF 1144. We could continue this to 10-9, and we're waiting for supervisor approval from Null Cross.
I'm sorry?
Supervisor approval from the state attorney's office for a Null Cross. I'm hoping I won't see you again on the case, but if not.
Judge, can we approach?
Today's Tire Pros makes buying tires simpler. They offer a straightforward approach to tire and auto service that includes nationwide warranties, a hassle-free experience, and a great selection of Michelin tires. No matter what you drive or where you have driven, Michelin has a tire to fit any need.
Okay, technically, we'll continue it until, like I said, until 10/9, but hopefully it'll be resolved before or at that time. Okay.
Next up, I'm covering for Attorney Brandon Morris.
Hold on a second.
Yep, no problem.
Morris? I don't have anybody in the north.
Your Honor, we have Mr. Jacob Scott Butler, being represented by Brandon Morris. My docket is number 85. I don't know which version you have.
What's the number? What's the name?
It's Jacob Scott Butler.
Got it. You're right. It is Morris. I want to get part of it. Thank you.
Yes, sir. There's depositions of the lead investigator in the case already set for October 10. So he is seeking a continuance in the case to get that depo taken, Judge.
It's without objection, Your Honor.
Very good. It's a relatively recent case. Will continue until 10.
Also covering one for Attorney Chris Crawford. The defendant's name is Nathaniel Gray.
Very good.
On that case, he's asking...
The case number?
Sorry, the case number is 22 CF 925.
Okay.
Yep. And he is asking for a continuance. They have depositions scheduled for September 29th in the case. I've spoken to the state. They want the record to reflect this would be the final continuance. I have no problem with that.
Judge, this is the final continuance that I'm willing to agree to without depositions having been conducted. They've been moved for quite some time. This case is dusty, and I'd like it to move forward.
I would agree. The court will note in the clerk's minutes it will be the last continuance will continue until 10/9.
The final one I'm covering this morning is for Attorney Jack Wilkins. Wilkins, W-I-L, yeah.
Okay.
And that's Cameron Callias, or Callias, C-A-L-L-I-A-S, 23 CF 808. They're trying to work the case out, but he does want to continue it so he can get the position set of the victim deputies in the case. It's a second setting.
State?
Yes, Your Honor.
This is a recent case, so we'll continue until 10.
That's all I have. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Powell. Good morning. Which Powell are you covering for? Good morning.
Well, covering for me and issues on this case too is Juan Bautista, 22-107.
The Dixie, you're on this one too?
Yes,
Dixie? Okay, I don't need to call you by your first name, just to differentiate.
Thank you, and 1076, 1075, 1076.
Okay.
We'd like to leave it for docket day, clear.
Okay.
We haven't got all the discovery, Judge, yet on video, but we're not able to work it out.
Very good. Continue this till October 21st. Not October, excuse me, August 21st, which is docket.
Okay. I'm covering for both, Judge, Thomas Cole, 23.
Thomas Cole, correct?
851. There's waivers on file, Judge.
Okay.
He's got two cases. Depositions are set from 9/29. They had them last week, had a conflict. We'd like to continue that.
Yeah, we've asked that for the last continuance. We've already had depositions reset twice at the last minute. This needs to get done. It's not hard.
the defense okay with the last continuance? Any reason we can't get these depots in the next couple of months?
I think they're set for 9/29, Judge.
Good. Is that the last of the depositions you anticipate?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So good, the court will note, this will be the last continuance. We'll continue until 10/9, next pre-trial.
And Bo has another one, Judge. Brandon,
That's already been continued for some reason. Yeah. I've got it on mine, as it's already been mentioned.
Yes, sir.
Okay. He's already, continued to 10/9, I'm sure.
thank you, Judge. Michael Griffin, covering Michael Griffin for the laborers. 20 CL.
Who you covering for?
Michael Griffin, Judge.
Okay. Want to do, Dixie, you want to do yours? You've got one before I move off of the Powell. Janet Foster?
Yes, sir, Your Honor. This case stems from Kansas on an estate dispute, and I was going to get with Noah and give him, I got all the information. She has lawyers in Kansas. She lives in Florida. She didn't get notice of the first arraignment out there, got arrested as a fugitive for justice. I think once Noah sees all the facts of the case, that he may probably consider.
So what do we need to do? Do you want to just continue it, or you want to give it to him?
Judge, I would stipulate to a continuance.
I'm sorry?
I'd stipulate to a continuance. I'm not in a position to go through the details of that.
I'm sure that's a whole list of details here.
So, you can just talk to him after.
Yes.
So we'll continue until 10/9. And then, I think that's all. Do you have any others?
I just had one other question on fall.
Sure.
Her fiance put up a $20,000 bond. She lived here most for life when she moved to Kansas. I need to file a motion to maybe get that bond or
Yeah.
with her. Okay.
If you wish to make a motion to modify, you can do that. You can talk with the state, see if they're in there. Okay.
She said, has lawyers in Kansas, a state lawyer and a criminal law.
Okay.
And she's proceeding with the case out there.
Okay, thank you.
Judge, I'd like to, if I could, revisit that Thomas Cole on October the 9th. Deposition on September the 29th.
Hold on. You just, it's already on the drift.
Well,
I go back to top. Hold on. A lot of cases here I'm trying to keep up.
Judge. Thanks, sir.
Okay, so Cole, okay.
You said it was 10/9, last continuance. Depositions are 9/29. I wonder we can move that. That's going to give him short fuse to get to trial after the depositions. I know the state wants to get it over with. I wonder if you have anything in November?
Judge, it's only two officers. Let's at least keep our hands on.
Why don't we do this? Why don't we have the hearing, not the hearing, the depositions. We'll continue until 10/9. If you come back here with a good faith, you explain why you can't, we need to move it out an extra month, that'll be fine. You can always, if there are, appropriate circumstances. We just don't want this thing dragging out.
I agree, Judge. Thanks.
Okay. And then you've got Griffith, you want?
Yes, Shamel Roach, 20 CF 2883. He represents a co-defendant. Roach is a co-defendant of the other case imposed. And he wants to continue to docket day for a plea. There's a waiver on that.
There's no objection.
Court continues to docket day on 8/20.
8/20's docket?
8/21 at 9 a.m. That's docket.
Okay. That's all I got, Judge. Thanks. Good to
Thank
see you, Judge.
Yes, sir. Have a good day. Alice Harris. Good morning, Ms. Harris.
Good morning, Judge. I represent Jamal Carter in 22 CF 3121. I'd hoped we'd have an agreement by now, but we don't, so I'd like to continue it. Possibly I'll need to take the deposition too. And if the state has no objection, you'll find.
Where are we at with discovery?
Your Honor, as far as I know, we have all the discovery. We're having a dispute about the anti-theft device felony charge. that may need to be resolved by depositions, and we've been discussing it. And I heard Ms. Harris's client does live in South Florida, so I think that's a complication. We're trying to bring it back next week. So if we continue this one more cycle, and then I think we will discuss the case, and if it needs to be set for trial.
Would this be the last continuance, Ms. Harris?
I'd be satisfied with that, Your Honor, barring some very exceptional
You
circumstances.
can always raise those.
Certainly.
Yes, Your Honor, I
Court
think
will
that's fine.
continue until 10/9, our next pretrial, and court will ask that the minister take the last continuance.
Thank you, sir.
I think that's all you got.
That's all I have.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
You too.
Mr. Mitkovich.
Morning, Your Honor.
Morning.
Joseph Mitkovich on behalf of Edwin Garcia Perez, case number 22 CF 1815. Your Honor, we passed this case last time because I didn't have any discovery in the case. I was able to get discovery. It was missing some critical videos, namely the in-car videos on the scene. I did get those either last week or the week before. Unfortunately, nothing on there matches what's in the arrest report. Talked to Mr. Hearn about it, and believe we're requesting continuance to set some depots to try and understand what happened here.
No objections. Okay. Continue this till 10/9. At least we're getting some discovery and putting the pieces together.
It's moving.
Thank you, Judge. Okay.
I'm nothing further.
Very good. Nice day. Mr. Taylor?
Morning, Your Honor.
Morning.
Clay Taylor on behalf of Kyle Ely. Mr. Ely is present in the courtroom.
Hold on.
It's 23 CF 864.
What? It might be under another attorney's name?
Chris James. Sorry.
Very good. Is Mr. Ely here?
He is here. He's in the back of the courtroom. And we are.
John Trumbull.
Okay.
Mr. Ely? Hold on a second. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
We are ready for trial on 864.
State?
Give me just a second. I'm just looking at the issue. I know this is a newer case, and I'm unsure if we have the Florida Department of Law Enforcement report back. I think this is.
Is the state surprised by this? State?
Your Honor, I was not aware this was going to be announced ready for trial. And it does not look like that we do have an FDLE report. Your Honor, this is a new case. Just from,
So do we, I'll tell you what, why don't we do this, why don't we come back on docket day next week, 8/21, and why don't you can give me a clear idea of what's going on?
yes, sir.
Your Honor, actually, I believe I am out of town. But
Can you get anybody to cover?
we need some.
I mean, it's not gonna be anything substantive, we're just kind of figuring out where we're going, just be prepared.
Is the trial date will be set for 2 weeks out, is that right, Your Honor?
The trial weeks are, August 28th and September 5th, which is the day after Labor Day. So August 20th.
Your Honor, just to be clear, the state's not requesting this be set for your trial. The
I
state's
understand
requesting-
that. We're gonna come back on docket day and you're gonna tell me what's going on with the report, et cetera.
Yes, sir.
So I may have the excuse, Your Honor?
You may. Thank you.
We got a warrant for you. Violation. 49-3 out. I was in the hospital.
Sanders? Mr. Sanders?
I'm here, Your Honor. May I pass my cases? I need to speak to the state attorney.
Sure.
And I'm also filling in for Ms. Condon. So-
Okay.
And she has a co-defendant in our case, so we can
Okay.
address that later in the morning. Thank you.
Sure. Okay. The next lawyer, I can't read their writing, so I don't know who it is. Begins with an F, F-I. How do you pronounce your last name, sir?
Michelle.
Michelle.
But I'm not surprised, Your Honor, couldn't read my writing or told I have worse writing than even a doctor.
That's saying a lot.
June Duncan.
Very good.
Your Honor, we have depositions scheduled in this
Would you
matter.
announce the case? This is
June Duncan, case number 23 OFS 002187.
I've got 958. 23 CS 958. Is that different? June Duncan?
Yes, sir.
What number did you have? What do you have now, sir?
Oh, for 232187, that's someone else.
So the case number is 23 CF 958.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And it was filed on 4/26/23. The single count of exploitation.
We have depositions scheduled in this matter for November 28th.
Okay. Are those the only depositions that you anticipate needing?
No, I do anticipate a second date will be needed.
Okay. So are we waiting to do those before we do another date?
Yes.
Okay. So you're asking just to continue till 10/9 at this point? I know we've got depositions beyond that, but I don't want to start struggling up on to make sure we're still tracking these cases.
Very good, Your Honor.
So we'll come back, stay okay with 10/9, obviously, just starting with depositions.
Yes.
Continue till 10/9.
Very good, thank you.
I think that's the only one you got.
That is the only case, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. You have a good day.
It was well, Your Honor.
Mr. Shaw? Good morning.
Good morning, Judge. Sorry I wasn't here when you initially called. I was having good information.
That's all right.
Judge, first case I'd like to take is for Keith Kilpatrick as the attorney.
Okay. Hold on, let me find it. Okay.
last name is Dwyer, D-W-Y-E-R, 22 CF 2711. He's asked to leave that set with subpoenas for trial.
Okay, so we'll come back, we'll continue to docket day next week.
Your Honor, can we approach in that case?
Sure.
Tire store in Crestview or online at DaceTirePros.com. Tire Pros love the drive.
Hey, I'm David at Family Vision of Crestview. We've been providing excellent optical service for Northwest Florida for over 34 years. Come in and let us take care of you.
Judge, and next for Mike, under Mike Flowers' name.
Okay.
Seth Andrew Beavers, 23 CF 694. Depositions are currently set for September 29th of 23. So we'd ask for the October, was it 9th date?
For state okay, I'm sure.
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will continue till 10/9.
Thank you, Judge. Same thing on Casey Allen Craig, 23 CF 455. He's asking for the 10/9 date as well.
Where are we at on discovery on that case?
It's my understanding that what he wrote on here was he had requested depots to be set. I think they're trying to get dates.
But
It's getting over.
early case, so we'll continue until 10/9.
Thank you.
That's the only two I've got for Mr.
That's
Wow.
the only two he had, Judge, and then on to my list.
Hold on, gentlemen. Okay, go ahead.
Sevion Allen, 23 CF 1310. We'd like a one cycle continuance on that, Judge. It's a June case.
Obviously, in the case, continue until 10/9.
Next is Roy Delano Alston, A-L-S-T-O-N, 23 CF 1200. Same with that, Judge. We'd ask for 10/9. It's a new case.
Stay okay? Stay okay?
On Alston, A-L-S-T-O-N.
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will continue till 10/9.
Next is Chance Boyd, 22 CF 2090. We'd ask to leave that set on 8/21. We're hoping to have it resolved. Depots, two sets of depots have been taken.
Very good. We'll continue until docket day 29.
Next is Patrick Sammy Broadnax. Judge, we'd like to, it's not ready for trial, but we'd like to leave it set on 8/21 just in case we can get it resolved. If not, we have to continue.
Clear, continue on 8/21. This is a relatively new case.
Yeah.
Still. Okay.
Next is Gary Blaine.
Where are we at on that case, just as it relates to discovery? We're not.
Discovery's been received by the defense, all the videos and the paper documentary discovery. It just needs to have, we've been working, trying to get it resolved.
Needs to be reviewed.
Yes.
Very.
Gary Blaine Fagan, 22 CF 2129. Written plea agreement was signed by my client Friday and countersigned by Mr. Lasco Friday as well. Do you have a copy of it? It's to a misdemeanor, Judge.
Okay.
Maybe we can correct it out.
You may. Thank you. Very good. The state's in agreement. Obviously, they signed it.
That's correct.
Okay. This is case number 22 CF 21. Is it 2124 or 2121?
2129.
Like I said, 2129.
2129.
The court will accept that as a misdemeanor plea.
Did you sign it? And I need someone to sign this file.
Very good. The court will accept those.
Thank you, Judge. Next is John Geiger, 23 CF 695. Judge, we have been looking into some issues with mental health on this particular case. So we're ready now, I think, to take some depositions. We'd ask to continue it to 10-9.
State?
No objection.
Court will continue to still 10-9. What, do we have any depositions set?
And I think dates have been requested on that, but I don't know that we.
I think we do. I think we sent
They
some
may-
dates over.
Okay.
I think we have something figured out.
Next is Jerry Lee Hollingsworth, 22 CF 1975. We have taken one round of depots. We'd ask for one final continuance. It should be resolved on the next docket.
Without objection, Your Honor.
Very good. The court will continue this till 10-9.
Thank you, Judge. John Edmund Holmes, 23 CF 454. An offer was conveyed to the defense last week. I sent it over to my client, haven't had a chance to discuss it with him. So if we can leave it set on 8/21, maybe we can resolve it.
We'll continue this till docket day for a later continuance.
And lastly, Judge, I have Kevin Cyrus King, 22 CF 770. I anticipate a plea on 8/21.
Very good. We'll continue until docket day and 8/21 for a plea.
Thank you, Judge. I believe that's all I have.
Very good. Okay. Mr. Durrell, I don't know who's, you guys didn't get your name on the list, so you guys can fight amongst you who got here first. So I just want to go in the order. Mr. Durrell?
Wait, that's all right. Go ahead.
Mr. Swiatek? You're the oldest, Mr. Swiatek. We'll let you go first. I mean, I know you need to get ready for lunch.
It's past my time.
Guess together for
Sure.
Is there a Wanda Wright in the courtroom? Wanda Wright?
I'll take it home.
No one's there anything else. Thank you.
I'm covering for the other old attorney this morning, Mr. Weinstein. He tells me he's retiring at night. He's got Cooper Johnson, it's 2020.
We're doing Mr. Weinstock's first?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Cooper Johnson, very good.
2023 CF 963. Mr. Weinstock's filed a motion to dismiss, and that is scheduled for September 22nd, and he requests an October 9th continuance date.
That's without objection, then, Your Honor.
Continue until 10-9.
I've got Patrick Hart. I've got a fully executed plea agreement on his case, along with a score sheet that we have no objection to, and it's case number 2023 CF 1058. Yes.
Mr. Hart, come forward, please. When your case is called, come forward with your attorney, even if you don't have to wait for that. Would you announce the terms of the plea agreement, Mr. Squire?
Yes, Your Honor. In 2023 CF 1058, Mr. Hart would withdraw his previously entered plea of not guilty and plead no contest as charged to driving my license suspended, third conviction, and driving under the influence. First offense. Terms of plea is that he be sentenced to time served with 1129 probation for the DUI. Adjudicated guilty of both counts. $500 fine, $480 court costs, $10 cost of prosecution, the 450 community service hours, one session victim impact panel. It'd be a 6-month driver's license suspension, a 10-day vehicle impound, and you have to complete the first offender DUI. They know the difference.
State?
That's correct.
Mr. Hart, would you please raise your right hand, sir? Do you swear or affirm the information you're about to provide this court is the truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
So you've heard your attorney state the terms of your plea agreement, and I see those same terms are contained in the plea and sentencing agreement that it appears that you have signed. First question is, did you read this plea agreement closely?
Yes.
And did you go over it in detail with your attorney to make sure you understand all the legal ins and outs of this plea agreement?
Yes.
You understand that by entering this plea agreement here today, you're waiving the right to go to a trial and to contest this, be a final resolution of this case, but you are giving up some valuable legal rights. Have you gone over those with your attorney?
Yes.
And you believe it is in your best interest to enter into this plea now?
Yes, I
Very good. Based upon that testimony, the court will accept your plea, and you'll get sentenced to credit for time served on counts 1 and 2. And you'll be sentenced to 11 months, 29 days probation. On count 2, driving under the influence, there'll be an adjudication of guilt in both counts. A number of fees and costs that are contained, as well as driver's license suspended, DUI school, and the 10-day vehicle impoundment. Any questions? Okay. You have 30 days to appeal this.
Your Honor, we would request county probation rather than state probation.
I give him a card.
That's an unusual precedent.
Well,
I'm not like opposed to it, but
his sentence for the felony is complete. He did 3 months in jail, and then that leaves the misdemeanor charge of DUI.
so he was sentenced under the misdemeanor.
He was sentenced for both, but he got time served on
Staying in jail?
I don't object.
Okay.
And that's usually probation.
That's fine. I'm okay with that. State probation have any issues with that? Okay. Court will allow or order that it be, probation will be served in county probation.
Right.
So,
I could please clarify the cost on here. You've got $480 in court costs when it's actually $438, and that includes a prosecution fee. Then you have an additional $100 prosecution fee. I can put that in the case, I just want to be clear on those court costs.
you want to put any higher court costs than what are required?
No.
Do you want statutory costs? If you want to just write that on there.
Yeah. Would you? Anything else, Mr. Swire?
I do have a few other cases.
Okay, thank you, sir. Go ahead, Mr. Swire.
I have Abraham Evans, it's 22 CF 1454. I just picked up this case on July 31st. The PD had it before me. The process of writing a motion to suppress on that case, but I don't have it done yet. So it asks for the 10-9 day.
You're on 10-9, that's fine.
Court will continue this case till 10-9.
Next I have Donald Holder, it's 22 CF 1875. Bob Sam and I have not been able to iron out details on this case. So we request 10-9.
There was an announcement in the last court hearing that there would be the last continuance. Is there some exigent circumstances? I will. We can come back and on docket day and see if you guys can work it out. Can't. Let's get it ready. It's not a complicated case.
So 821.
What?
821.
821. So we'll continue the docket day 821.
Anastasia Hubbard, 22 CF 1801. I'm waiting on amended information in that case. There was an FDLE report that came back. the information needs to be adjusted accordingly.
Judge, at this time, I'm planning on filing amended information based on the results of that DLE that came back as not fentanyl. It came back as methamphetamine, meaning I don't have a trafficking amount anymore. So I would be having to file a new information that states
Very good. So we'll continue this till 10/9.
Thank you.
Lastly, Bernard Buchanan, it's 23 CF 25. That's in a trial posture, Harlan State informed me last week that they may have an offer I might accept.
Well, why don't we go ahead and schedule it for docket day, kind of on the trial track for 8/21, if you guys will either plea or trial.
And Your Honor, we will discuss a plea, but I'm still trying to confirm some witness availability, so I will report that at docket day, and I will get with Mr. Switek prior to that and let him know when I can.
Well, okay. You have to actually make the announcement of the last continuance mean something, and that's what was announced last time. So let's try and get it ready for trial or plea.
Correct, that's all I have this morning.
Thank you, Mr. Frank. You have a nice day. Mr. Durrell?
Thank you, Your Honor. May it please the court, Dustin Durrell. Your Honor, my first client today is Mr. Franklin Applewhite. Applewhite is presently approaching, Your Honor. Been in negotiations with the state. I believe we're close. If I may leave him set for docket day, clear continue, but I do anticipate it with Your Honor.
Very good. We'll continue this till docket day next week, 8/21. Please continue.
Thank you, Your Honor. And next is Ms. Catherine Blifford. Ms. Blifford is present, Your Honor. Similar, Your Honor, if we may leave her plea or continue. I believe this will be the last continuance. So we've had our discovery, we've had the motion to suppress. I just need to go over some things with Ms. Blifford and see how she'd like to proceed. I don't believe I can be ready for trial this cycle, though.
Okay. State?
Your Honor, that will be fine with the state, and last continuance is also fine.
Very good.
Thank you.
We'll do 8/21, and also you can set it for 10/9 as well, or we can wait until that.
Okay.
But it will be the last continuance.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, ma'am.
Next, Your Honor, is Mr. Dominic Clark. I do have a waiver of appearance on for Mr. Clark, who would ask for a continuance in this matter. I'm scheduling depositions with Ms. Sharpless, and in preparing for those depositions, I noticed that I'm missing a few videos. I'd like to try and find out where they are as well.
And he did let me know he was missing videos, and I am reaching out to officers to try to find those videos.
We'll continue this till 10/9.
Your Honor, next is Mr. Cowart, C-O-W-A-R-T. Request a continuance in this matter as well. I believe this one is fairly fresh, Your Honor. I have received, I believe, the discovery of...
We'll continue until 10.
Next, Your Honor, is Mr. Chad Craney. Your Honor, this was a PTI offer. I have received it back from my client. I thought I forwarded that to Ms. Sharpless and discussed any cases for this week. Turned out it did not make it to her. I have provided it to her. She signed it. I just need to get that to, I believe it's Ms. Barris now, and get her in touch with Mr.
You'll come
Craney.
back on docket?
Yes, Your Honor. And next is Mr. Frank Dixon, requesting a continuance in this matter. Been in discussion with Ms. Sharpless. I do have a motion to suppress out. I need to schedule. I was hoping to resolve this without having the motion, but I believe, based on discussions with Ms. Sharpless and Ms. Sandler, there could be still the option for the alternate resolution where there's a lot of moving parts on this one, Your Honor. If I may have the continuance on this one to try and bring this one in. And I will go ahead
Would
and...
it be beneficial to come back on the docket day?
Just so we have a better understanding of how it's going to work out, yes, Your Honor. And Your Honor, I believe my last case today is Mr. Adrian Watson. There are a number of co-defendants on this case, Your Honor. We were all set for depositions. I believe it was last week. Those had to be canceled based on a conflict with one of the attorneys for the co-defendants. I don't believe they've been rescheduled.
I know it's getting up there, Your Honor, but this is a very serious case and lots of components to go through.
You gotta get the discovery done.
I guess I would ask for
Continue
10.
to 10 now.
Thank you, Your Honor.
That's all I got with you.
That's all I have. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, have a nice day. Counsel?
Morning, Your Honor. Ken Brooks, there's Shane Donaldson, 23 CF 865. Your Honor, we're still in the middle of discovery in this case. It's a relatively new case. We're asking for continuance to that 8-9 date if we can.
Without objection, Your Honor, I believe depositions are being set.
Very good. The court will continue this till 10/9, 9 a.m.
Thank you, Brooks. That's all I have this morning. Good to see
Thank
you.
you, Mr. Brooks. Good to see you. Sir,
Good morning, Your Honor.
good morning.
For the record, David Rare, on my case will be under the appellate firm name for 14 meetings, and
Hold on, sir. Let me just do it. Okay, go ahead.
And the first I have this morning, Judge, is Ms. Nicole Bola. Ms. Bola is present and approaching 23 CF 1215, 22 CF 2085. This is our first pretrial. A couple, 3 days ago, we got our first round of discovery from the state, reports, videos, and all that. I'm working my way through that.
Why? Is this relative? Well, it's a new case.
It is.
Yes, Your Honor, there's a
It's new law,
violation.
Charlie.
There's a violation in a new law.
Correct. We're just asking for a one-cycle continuous, Judge, to go through the discovery.
Okay. Very good.
All right, Judge, that was 10-9, correct?
10/9. Ms. Bola, I know it's hot outside, but we all gotta wear at least long pants.
All right, so I just had a problem with giving over the monitor.
Okay.
I will wear pants next time.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Or something. You can figure out something to do that's appropriate. You gotta
Thank you,
make
sir.
the men do it, gotta let women do it too.
Next judge I have is Gregory Cofield. I've already spoken to the state about that this morning. We're scheduling a round of depositions coming up to try to coordinate the case, asking for a one-cycle continuous.
State,
Cofield, no objection, Your Honor, we speak about that.
it's a relatively new case, but continue to plan.
And I also show Mr. Medina on 2 other cases.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay.
Are you just handling this
We
case?
just have that one right now.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Next I have Judge Irma Erazo Salvador. It's probably going to be under the course E docket 23 CF 1119. That's a relatively new case. We have a deposition with the alleged victim set coming up, asking for one cycle continuance.
Coral Grant continues till 10/9, it's a new case.
Next judge I have is Mr. Christopher Goins, 22 CF 3123. I also spoke to the state about that this morning. We're trying to obtain some written reciprocal discovery we want to provide to the state about a data breach of my client's data around the time of the allegations in this case. We're still pending receipt of that from a security company. I'd ask for a one-cycle continuance up to 10.
Without objection, Your Honor, we understand that's essential for their defense.
Very good. The court will grant continuance till 10/9.
And I believe last I have, Judge, is Mary Liza, 21 CF 2520. To inform the court on the status of depositions, we're going to have to break those down into essentially 3 categories: around depositions here in Okaloosa, around depositions in Pensacola, and then for the expert witnesses, they're in Nashville, Tampa, Miami, and Gulfport. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to do those via Zoom or have to travel for those, so we need a one-cycle continuance to try to get those hammered down.
Have any of the depositions been scheduled?
Not yet, Judge, but we kind of have our final list of who we need to do and where we need to do them at, minus these Zoom folks, but we'll be in touch with the state to coordinate the finals.
Who's handling this for the state?
Judge, with the understanding that depositions are going to be set shortly, the state has no objection.
Very good. Without objection, the court will grant continuance till 10.
And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Sure. Mr. Sanders, sir? Come on.
Good morning, Your Honor. Tricia Graham, on behalf of Crystal Canizaro, case 23 CF 1123. We've had it set, Your Honor, for a status check, I spoke with the state as well, Ms. Basso. They have filed the information. We asked that we set it for the first pre-trial for October 9th.
That's correct, Your Honor. We're awaiting some additional information, which we did receive and have shared, and so we have no objection setting it tonight.
This is a new case, we'll continue to go with that.
Thank you, Your Honor. And I also have a matter, I spoke with Ms. Sharpless on Jennifer Hall, case 23.
Is this your case?
This is my case, Your Honor, 23 CF 1218.
Okay, that's,
And Your Honor, it was on the docket today, but it was reset to Wednesday. I did file a notice of unavailability and a motion to continue. Ms. Sharpless has no objection. Would Your Honor, may I approach with a proposed agreed order?
we can do it verbally, I think, unless the clerk doesn't, would rather not do paper, right? As far as
It's
the-
up to you, Your Honor. I have it pulled up and she's correct. It was put on
Right.
your first Wednesday docket because of the delays.
Right, no, I understand. We move, but without objection, the court will bring it.
Thank you, Your
I just don't
Honor.
know, we need to sign an order, or is it good enough? Yeah, just bring it.
Okay, I can always submit electronically if you prefer.
We can do it here. Just trying not to do anything like this.
Thank you. And that concludes my cases. May I be excused?
And so that would be continued not till 10/9, should be 10/11. Does that say that?
Incarcerated.
10/11?
It says 10-9. Thank you for catching that.
We have done this again.
Thank you. And may I be excused, Your Honor?
You may.
Thank you.
Counsel?
Morning, Your Honor. I'm Thomas McGuire on behalf of Shante House, number 74 on the docket. That is 2023 CF 998. Your Honor, the defense is ready for trial on this. We took depositions out of the box pretty fast, and we're pretty much resolute in pursuing the trial on this matter.
Who's handling this for the case?
Your Honor, I'd have to check your witness availability. Can we set this on docket day for finalization, clear trial?
Yes.
Thank you.
But if you give me some good reasons why you can't do it on this cycle, it will be the last continuance. I just want to make sure everyone understands that, but I still want you to, let's try and do it if we can.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. So we'll come back docket day, which is 8/21/91.
Thank you, Your Honor. And I'm also handling the matter for another attorney.
Sure.
That is Adrian Middleton.
Okay.
His defendant is Peter Holland, and his cases are at 75, 76, and 77. And I know it's an old case.
Announce the numbers. I've got them here.
I don't have the numbers.
21 CF 2117, 21 CF 2167, and 21 CF 2203. These are all August 21 cases. Wow. Don't know the circumstances. Where are we at?
The defendant was recently involuntarily committed to a psych hospital.
Okay.
And Mr. Middleton plans on filing a motion to determine competency, and he's requesting a full cycle continuance to the next pretrial conference to file that motion and get the examination.
Your Honor, that.
Peter Hall.
Judge, based on, I would, when we're reading the case, I was going to come in here and push for a trial. However, at this time, if he's been committed to the psych hospital, I certainly want to give the defense the time to file that motion to determine competency, so I'll stipulate to it one second continuance. I do have concerns that I do want to say on the record that this is a very old case and I'd like it to move.
Court has the same feeling, and short of these unusual circumstances, the court would be in agreement. Do we need to come, are you aware that he's been committed?
Judge, I'm not,
I'm not saying, I'm not questioning whether he has or hasn't.
I will say this, I did email the defense attorney to talk about the case. I don't believe I heard back, so I did not know if he'd been committed, but I'm certainly not questioning the viability of that
Well,
information.
we'll take the attorney's comments at face value. And I appreciate that, but you need to tell Mr. Middleton,
Yes, sir. What
we
he
need to
just
get
said.
the state, and figure out where we're going with this case,
Yes, sir.
okay? So, but we'll continue until 10/9 on all three cases, 9 a.m.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
Judge, I'm gonna hop back up here. I had one case that we passed, Ricky Vani.
Okay.
That was 23 CF 1217. I'm gonna ask for a continuance to October 9th pretrial. I need to obtain the search warrant and just look at one issue with that, I believe, and see if we can bring it in for a landing.
Why did we announce continuance last time, and now we're looking for another?
I don't know why I wasn't the attorney of record at the time on that.
Well, that's a good reason.
See, that 1217. She did have another case that she just entered a plea on.
When did you come on board on this?
This is my first time up.
That's fine.
And Your Honor, just so you're aware, there was a case she just recently, this is Ms. Bonner.
Correct.
She did just have a case she just recently resolved, and then this is a new case, so that might be the confusion there. I think she had missed her notes on the most recent case.
I don't have the search warrants, but that's the only issue I think.
It is, I mean, it's a brand new case, so I don't know why it would have been announced last, anyway. Not to worry. Continue until 10:09, I'm in agreement.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. And then I'm also here on behalf of Marty Notes. He has number 66, it looks like on the docket, James Casey. Is that your name? James Casey?
Yes.
James Casey.
And he's asking to leave that case left set.
Okay, docket day?
Okay.
Okay, docket day, 9 a.m.
And then he also he has number 67, Brooke.
And it's stayed in communication with Mr. Noah, I mean, you're talking.
This is my case, Your Honor, and I did receive communication from Mr. Note. I would ask for clear continuance, just so that's on the record, not clear trial. This is a very new case.
Okay.
And then you just need to get the plea done. Go ahead, clear continuance, go ahead.
He also has Brooke Davis, Brooke Nicole Davis, 23 CF 757. And he's asking for continuance in this case to the 10/9.
To the October, the pre-trial?
Yes, sir.
Well, this will go to the new case to court for him.
And I believe that's all he has.
That's all I have.
He's here. Let the record reflect I'm handing you your court date, okay?
So it's 10/9 at 9 a.m. Make sure I'm being in communication with your attorney, okay, now?
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
Kevin?
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, the first case that I have is Mr. Scott Wiley, Altilio, A-L-T-I-L-I-O. And it's, there's one case number 23 CF 590. Your Honor, we're asking for continuance. It's not an old case. It was filed on March 12th. We need to do depositions. I'll also wait for 3 weeks.
Court will continue this till 10/9.
Thank you, Your Honor.
9 a.m.
That should be the last continuance. Your Honor, the second case that I have is the second time up. It's Ryan Patrick Asbury. He also has new charges that are coming on, Your Honor, that I'm representing him on. The case number currently is 23 CF 465. I'm asking for...
You said there's new charges coming?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And Your Honor, they're on the Thursday's plea day.
Okay. You want to track these together?
Yes, sir.
I believe, I'm sorry, Judge. I believe Mr. Catalonic already did a written plea of not guilty.
Yes.
So I don't know if it's still on Thursday's docket, but I do know Mr. Catalonic did file his notice in that case.
What is the other, do you have a case number on that other case?
It is 23 CF 1564, Your Honor.
So why don't we go ahead and continue both of those If there's been a written plea filed, we continue both those till 10/9.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The next case, Your Honor, that I have is Ryan John Foster. And FOSTER, Your Honor, is case number 22 CF1819. I apologize, I haven't gotten back to you. I just got back yesterday. And what I would like to do with this case is leave it set for a plea or a trial.
The state has no objection. That sounds great.
So we'll be back here on August 21st, Your Honor.
Yes, sir. Clear trial, docket day, August 21.
Next Monday. Yes, sir. Your Honor, the last case that I have is
Judge, sorry, one thing I do want to say on the record about Mr. Foster. The state does need to go ahead and reach out to witnesses because the victim is out of state in Texas, just to make sure that she is available to travel here for trial.
That's correct.
That being said, I'm happy leaving it set for clear trial so I can check the witnesses.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hopefully you'll have some, that's why we do the docket and do little steps along the way to make sure to bring them in.
Your Honor, the last case that I have is Dalton David Kitzan, Kitzan, case number 23 CF882, April 17, Your Honor, file date, second time up. I would like to do a small deposition on this, Your Honor, and I don't think I need another continuance after October 9th.
The court will announce last continuance and we'll come back on 10/9.
Thank you, Your Honor, that's all I have.
Okay, thank you, Mr.
I appreciate
Have a
it.
good day.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Stewart.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
May it please the court, Your Honor, Brad Stewart, on behalf of Jesse DeBoer, Judge. My client does have a waiver on his
Hold on, sorry, hold on.
last name DeBoer, D-E-B-O-R-D.
Got it.
Your Honor, this is 22 CF1810. When we previously visited this case, Judge, we had one deposition of a minor child remaining.
Case number, what's the case number?
22 CF1810.
I've got 908.
908. My apologies,
That's
Judge.
all right. What's the one,
It's 908.
Okay. I just want to get it right. Okay. I'm sorry.
Judge, when we previously visited this, we had one deposition left of the minor child. We had that scheduled, unfortunately, due to some conflicts. We had to reschedule that. We do have a number of dates that we're working with the state on. It does have to be scheduled at the CAC because it does have to be recorded. Judge, we're asking for one cycle continues to effect that. We anticipate it will be resolved via plea or trial at next cycle.
Okay, although there was a last continuance announced last time, I understand some of the exigencies with regards to child testimony and use of the CAC. So we'll announce, as the minutes reflect the last continuance, and we'll continue to 10 now.
Thank you, Your Honor. That's all I have before the court. Maybe
Thank you. You have a good day. Okay, that's good.
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Is it still morning?
It is. Hey, I tried to drag it out as long as possible. I have today on your docket a Taylor Copeland, C-O-P-E-L-A-N-D, 23 CF 1142. I'm asking.
Hold on. What's the case number again? I don't have any.
23 CF 1142.
I don't have any.
Go to the docket. What is the date on your docket, Your Honor?
Oh, I'm sure it's one of
I have two dockets.
8, 9.
Okay, the initial docket that was sent out.
Yeah. We just hand those. Give me the name again.
Copeland, C-O-P-E-L-A-N-D. First name Taylor, T-A-Y-L-O-R.
This is my case.
Okay.
And
This
it
is
is,
a case?
it's a new case, it's a sexual battery and a burglary with the battery, Your Honor. It is a dreaming case, and Ms. Gooden and I have discussed the setting of depositions. We have been in discussion about the direction this case needs to go.
Yes, Your Honor, and I was going to ask for continuance. I have a little more discovery to do before I set depositions. So if the court will.
Absolutely. This is a new case, complex case as well, so we'll continue until 10.
Thank you, Your
9.
Honor.
Good.
I believe that's all I have, and I have one in custody in your jurisdiction, but it's Wednesday, correct?
Yes, that's
9
right.
a.m. In person, Zoom.
I'm sorry?
In person?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
If I may, Your Honor, pass mine to after the break. Thank you very
Come
much.
on. Was this your case or Ms. Conlon's?
Ms. Condon has Mr. Hanson, and I have Mr. Hallmark.
Okay, which one do you want to do first?
I'd like to pass it to after the break.
You want to pass that? to-
Yes, sir, thank you.
So. You mean for the lunch break? So there are a few, defendants that don't have any attorneys. I was going to do those before lunch. And we're closing in on the lunch hour, so I'm not going to, Mr. Harper, you don't have to worry if you don't want to hang around. I'm probably not going to start you until first thing after lunch. So, and we'll come back. So is Jesse, the state needs to be focused on this a little bit here, because I'm going to call some without attorneys. Jesse Anderson, 23 CF 1127.
Let me call a call real quick, Your Honor.
Okay.
So it sounds like they're getting unrepresented, and then it takes so much to make
I'm just saying.
I made an announcement that you were doing.
Okay. So is Jesse Anderson here? Jesse Anderson. Case number 23 CF 1127. State?
Your Honor, the court has called for Mr. Anderson. I do not see him approaching. I know that on 6/20, the court called for Mr. Anderson as well. I believe he did receive notice, but I'm just looking. He did. He was here at the arraignment, and he pled not guilty. Your Honor, it does look like they submitted an application for the public defender, but I would request a copy since he's not here.
Order issue of cases. Desmond Bankston. Would the state announce?
Yes, Your Honor, this is Mr. Desmond Bankston, case number 2023 CF 1287. He's charged with possession of cocaine and marijuana not more than 20 grams. Judge, his attorney recently was conflicted off, so I believe he needs an attorney appointed.
Okay. So, who conflicted off?
I could not tell you. I think it was RCC.
Who was your original attorney?
I never had an original attorney, but it was due to his application. Long story short, I put an extra 0 on here. I also do have like my income here with me valid. I don't know if it's possible to actually get
Well,
it.
you need to file an appeal, right, Madam Clerk?
Did you see the motion to discharge by Mr. Harper that was filed on July 20th?
No, I didn't.
What is the date on his application?
When's the date on your
It
application?
showed that he already had a public defender, and then he was determined.
7/11/23.
Yes. And he was determined not to be indigent because his income exceeds 200%.
Right.
You made an error.
Absolutely. That's what I was explaining. Then I have 2 different check stubs here just showing that I don't make that.
Okay.
On there.
So does he need to resubmit?
Well, what I can do is print the application where they did, they're not indigent, and then you can determine if you're on the bottom. Normally,
Yeah, the copy. Yeah, I have a copy of it
Is
right
there
here.
a copy as well?
That works. This is a copy of my check stub.
Weird.
There's also check as well that I just have to report.
So is there some reason why ORCC, is there a conflict that from the PD?
Mr. Harper is basing it on the determination that he wasn't indigent. And then the order was signed on July 21st, and I have no action in the case after that July 21st date. Nothing's been filed. Did you get the clerk's office?
I'm sorry.
So what did you say you made a mistake on, sir?
I applied an extra zero on my income itself.
So would you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm the information you're about to provide this court is the truth, nothing but the true self you got?
Yes, sir.
So what is your income?
It should be like $100 every week, every 2 weeks. I think it's
Or is it every week or every 2 weeks? That's the difference, but that would mean it would be double the income.
every 2 weeks.
So instead of $1,000 a week that's listed on here, you're saying it's $100 a week?
Yes, sir. I have another check stub here too as well.
Let me see.
This one's for the
Okay,
day.
and who are these check stubs from?
Fat Boys, Miramar Beach.
It doesn't say what it's for.
That's it.
It doesn't say for how long it's for. Okay, based upon testimony that it was one figure off, the court will reappoint the I don't know, why did you get it, Mr.?
Your Honor, I'm anticipating that it's probably because his original counsel had a co-defendant. I believe the state's advised me that. And then once the determination came back that he was not injured, he was required to withdraw.
I understand.
Judge, in that we are disappointed to this case, I'd ask for a full cycle continuance.
We'll continue to still pen make sure and stay in contact with your attorney.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
In the meantime, I'll send discovery to RCC.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, thank you. Noah Brennan. Would the state announce?
Sorry, Your Honor, I am looking for the case number.
Case number 22 CF 2974.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Brennan, why don't you have an attorney?
I just think I'm going to take what the state offers me at this point, you know what I mean? I'm tired of coming here, wasting our time. I just might as well just get it knocked out, get it going.
Okay, so is there a plea agreement somewhere?
Your Honor, the state does not have a plea agreement written up.
Well, why don't we do this? I'm gonna ask you to, we're gonna be breaking in just a second. And I'm gonna ask you to get together with the attorney, with the state attorney. They're gonna draw up a plea agreement, and we'll come back first thing. We'll have you up first, we'll get your plea agreement, get it done. All right. I need to ask you some questions in order to accept your plea agreement, to make sure it's free and voluntary, you understand what you're doing.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we'll just come back, so I'm passing over this.
Yes, sir, thank you.
Mr. Kane Fuller. Does the state announce?
Yes, Your Honor, this is 23 CF 316.
Okay. Mr. Fuller, is there, why do you not have an attorney?
Excuse me. Well, I'm really waiting on this last check I'm supposed to get this Friday.
So you were going to hire a private attorney?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Where are we at with this case, with the state?
Your Honor, the State has made an offer to the defendant at plea day. I think this is like maybe the second time or third time before he is going to hire a private attorney, Your Honor.
So, here's what we're going to do a full cycle continuance. 10-9. This is the last continuance. I want to stay ready to go to trial. If you can't, get yourself an attorney, or let's go to trial on it. If you don't want to get an attorney, you don't want to answer, but we got to move the case. Can't you sit up? Okay. Okay. So I'm not going to appoint you an attorney because you're telling me you're going to hire one.
I will, yes, sir.
Okay. Go ahead and get it done. We'll come back 10-9 at 9 a.m. So make sure to write that down so you do get an attorney, you can tell him or her what you're doing. Okay? Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Chad Gray.
Mr. Judge, this is case number 4623 CF430, Mr. Chad Gray. Mr. Gray is charged with smuggling contraband into a prison facility, possession of narcotics equipment, and resisting an officer without violence.
So, Mr. Gray, we'll start off by asking you why don't you have an attorney?
I just put in a Dropbox an application today.
You just
I
made
filled
an
one out.
application?
Yeah, I filled one out last month and I messed it up, so I dropped one today for counsel.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to appoint the public defender.
All right.
Here today, and I'm going to give you a continuance till 10-9 and 9 a.m. So just call the public defender's office and try and make an appointment. Get together with you. Okay? Thank you.
Your Honor, have you completed the application?
He did. He said he just filed.
Okay, good. Thank you. Just for a continuance.
You got two more. You want to do it now?
Yes, Your Honor. Just said the Attorney General representative can go back to Tallahassee.
Come on.
Morning. Your Honor, Steve Medina
I'm trying to accommodate the Attorney General.
Thank you, Your Honor. Charles. Your Honor, Charles Brush signed a waiver of appearance in 23 CF 1360. I'd already spoken with the Attorney General's office representative who's here as a special assistant state attorney on this case, and we've agreed to do a continuance. There's a very large amount of evidence that the state has turned over that we're going to be evaluating.
Was this on our docket today?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Brush
was... for this afternoon, so you're just getting ready.
It's Charles Brush was docket 191, I think.
Okay.
I don't know if there's a morning or afternoon, it's all just one.
Yeah, but
it's 191, Your Honor.
I haven't yet, because I knew you weren't going to get to it until this afternoon. In my mind, it's this afternoon.
Yes, Your Honor.
I got it.
Thank you.
Okay, so we'll continue this till 10-9.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you, Your Honor. And that was the only one I wanted to do out of order. I got to go back to the hall. Thank you.
Would the attorney state your name for the record?
Joe Warner.
Joe
Werner, W-E-R-N-E-R.
Yes, sir, appreciate it.
Thank you. Yeah, appreciate it. Okay, James Harden.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Stay with the statement now.
Your Honor, Mr. Harden's case is case number 23-1371. It is a single count of L&M molestation. I believe he announced he was going to be his own attorney back in 7/18.
Have you gotten?
No, Your Honor. There's no way. I've asked. No one will take credit. All my asset
So you don't believe you qualify for a public defender?
Pardon me?
I think we addressed that at the last hearing on the 18th. I believe the court determined you're not indigent.
Oh,
At least that's what I have in the court file.
I'm not indigent.
Okay.
I have income. I just don't have, they want 35,000 up front. I don't
I
have that
understand
kind of
that. I understand. It's very expensive.
So,
Okay. Well, if you're not able to hire an attorney and you make too much income or have too many assets in order to qualify for a public defender, I can't override that. That's, so, we're gonna have to proceed with the case. Stay?
Your Honor, this time we have filed a live felony. It does carry a minimum mandatory. Of course, nothing's been done as far as discovery or anything, although we are prepared to provide it once we know where it needs to go.
Do you have any input or suggestions?
Your Honor, as the court's aware, it is a serious case. I mean, if he wishes to represent himself and we need to do the inquiry, we can do that another time, or perhaps give him one more continuance to get an attorney.
You said you don't have any ability to get an attorney.
if I could talk with the assistant district attorney or the district attorney, show them our paperwork, where my great-granddaughter was coming from, this will never go to court.
So you think you got information that the state
I believe so.
drop it?
I believe so, Your Honor. If I can talk with the district attorney, my wife and I, we have it all written up to show them.
You can talk with them, but they're gonna, Well, let me just say this to you. Before, first of all, let me swear in. If you raise your right hand, do you swear or affirm the information you're about to provide this court is the truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
So, am I hearing you correctly that you want to talk with the state about your case?
I would like to.
Okay. And you understand that without an attorney, you're putting yourself at extreme risk by doing so from a legal standpoint.
I know this.
Okay, listen to me. I gotta ask you these questions because you heard what she just said. This is a life.
Oh, I know. Sir.
Life felony.
This is taking a lot out of me.
Life felony.
Yes, Your Honor.
And if you...
I don't want to represent myself.
I really strongly recommend that you try to figure out some way. Let me say this, that if Mr. Hart really believes that he's got some information that if you had, it would change the state's position dramatically. What you might want to do, Mr. Hart, is go talk to an attorney and just listen to what I'm saying. Hire him or her just to represent you on this kind of initial part. Not to go to trial, in other words, if you narrow the scope of their representation, if you really believe, hey, if I just showed it to them, the state would realize that they made a huge mistake. If that's the case, I want to give you that opportunity. But by you dealing directly with them, you're going to be signing a sworn statement that would put you at risk for life imprisonment.
I had an attorney, Mr. Knopf, paid him $2,500. This was before I was arrested. I knew something was going to come up. And when I was arrested, I called him. He got me out of jail. And that was it. The $2,500 was over. He wanted $35,000.
I understand, but what you, don't tell me what you've done. But what you want to do is go back to Mr. Notes and see what, just to deal with the first part of this case.
He wouldn't even look at my paper. He wouldn't look at anything I had.
Well, there are other attorneys out there that might. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give this a continuance, and you come back again, and I'm gonna let you talk to the state.
Well,
And we do-
could I get a list of attorneys that will work with me?
Sir, I have no, I can't make recommendations on attorneys.
I understand.
But, well, I was gonna say you can use the internet, but you might not be able to use the internet.
My wife does, I don't.
Okay. There are plenty of criminal attorneys that are listed on the internet. And that's where most people, or many people, maybe most people find attorneys. Anyway, I can't tell you how to do that.
Yes,
So I certainly can't recommend an attorney or somebody who would.
I just thought maybe if they.
I mean, if there are attorneys, I mean, the counsel that are for if you don't have the money and resources to pay, are the public defenders. You say you don't qualify.
Well, they're saying I don't qualify.
And Your Honor, just so Mr. Harden understands, this is my case, but, and I certainly would be willing to meet, except for the fact that I would be concerned about his rights. So, but I will make sure if you do get an attorney, I'll make myself available as quickly as possible so that it can be done before the next pretrial, so it doesn't drag on. If that's something we want to do, I'll make sure that, that I'm available if he doesn't have to have an attorney. But I would be concerned, as the court is, for his rights, because this is very serious.
So do you understand what I'm suggesting?
Oh, yeah,
I'm just trying to be creative. This is not some legalistic thing I'm suggesting. I'm just saying you might be able to get it for a little bit less. You know, like he gave you, hey, I'm going to do this for X amount just to handle this. Maybe you can do the same thing, X amount just to handle this. And if you think by handing them the information that they would reconsider everything, and it might be worthwhile to do that.
Your case, man? I have already papers typed up of everything where I could get.
I'm sorry, sir. I'm afraid of your rights too, because that's really my responsibility as well.
See, what we don't want to happen is you do something like that, you end up getting convicted, and then you're sitting in prison writing appeals saying that we didn't treat you fairly. You need to be treated, I want you to be, this is a very serious charge, but you have a right to be treated fairly. And part of that right is to have an attorney, but we can't do it if you can afford one. So I'm going to pass it one more time, come back on 10-9, see if you can work something out, even on a limited basis with an attorney, and figure out where we're going. If not, we'll proceed forward, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
But I agree with you. You should not, if at all possible, represent yourself.
Oh, no. I'm in jail.
Okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Very good. Thank you. 10-9, 9 a.m.
Yes, Your Honor.
William Thornton. Stage now. Who's handling this case?
Yes, Your Honor, this is me. I
All morning.
Your Honor, this is Mr. Thornton, and I am
23 CF 650. Mr. Thornton, why don't you have an attorney?
It's just taking me a little bit of time to come up with some more money with school, just getting in with the children, kind of like cap me out, but I should have it. If you give me one more month, I'll have enough money for an attorney, Your Honor.
Okay. If you don't have an attorney, next time the state's going to proceed without it, okay?
Yes, sir, I understand.
10-9 at 9 a.m.
Yes, sir, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Okay. Is anybody here, I'm afraid to ask, there's a lot of folks still here. If anybody is here that's represented by the public defender or the Office of Regional Conflict, we're going to start those cases after the lunch break at 1:30. Does anybody here believe Are they here without an attorney? Or I don't know why everybody's here. If you're all here, why don't we do this? Anybody that's represented by the public defender or the Office of Regional Conflict Counsel, you can step out. Take a break. And I'll see who else is standing sitting here after you all leave.
If you have shorts on, even if you're a woman, make sure you change before you come back. And you're just here to watch the court, right? 1:30, yes, sir.
And they're going to start. Yeah, just stay there.
It's going to be.
Attorney's going to.
That's Mr. Green, correct? Mr. Green, correct? You'll hang out in the hall with me when we're done, I'll come find you. I don't have something written up, but we'll talk about it, and then after the
I
break.
did not hear about the defender, but I don't understand what the regional conflict means.
Don't worry about it. You got a public defender, you got a public defender.
Okay.
All right, see you at 1:30.
Thank you.
Mr. Harper, they don't all know your name? Okay. Well, good. So, we'll come back at 1:30?
Yes, Judge, and I think he has a time conflict, so can we take his case first? Because I don't think it'll take very long. We're just.
You mean at 1:30?
Yes,
Are you talking about now or at 1:30?
No, at 1:30, I
Yeah,
gotta pick up my kid from
We'll let you
kindergarten.
go first. Yeah.
His first week of kindergarten, I gotta be here.
No. Okay, we'll bring the kids into this. Mr. Rogers, you need a...
No, Judge, and I won't see you this afternoon. I'll be in front of Judge Brown, so.
Very good. So thank you, ladies.